There are a couple of topics that I actually want to talk about today. Premeditated topics, so hopefully I won't present them in the same sort of crappy, disjointed manner that I usually present my topics in. The first one is the insurance debacle with my Honda, with my old CBR. I sure hope, is finally 100% behind me. Just a quick recap for anyone who hasn't followed my earlier videos. In February last year, I was riding my bike along on this road, not this road, but on some road in Santa Barbara, State Street, if you must know the specifics. And I was cruising along there, and on State Street, this part of State Street, there are no traffic controls. There's no signals, there's no red lights, there's no stop signs, there's nothing for traffic proceeding straight on State Street. The side streets that intersect State Street have stop signs, so people are supposed to stop, check if it's clear, and then continue through. So I'm going down State Street in straight line, and some guy decides it would be a cool story, bro, cool move, if he just kind of ran the stop sign without looking. So he did that, and that happened to be right when I was passing. So lo and behold, I crashed my motorcycle, and the cop that showed up on the scene, the first cop that showed up, had a serious, I'm just going to speak my mind, he had a serious attitude problem. He had a bone to pick with motorcyclists, and he just took it out on me for whatever reason. He got there, and the first words out of his mouth, before even looking at the scene, were, you know you're supposed to yield to crossing traffic, right? So I didn't say anything to him because I didn't want to get into a fight with a police officer and give him any reason to, cite me for some infraction that I didn't commit or anything like that, since he was already obviously out to kind of screw me over. But anyway, to make a long story short, he filed his report that I was at fault in the accident. Ultimately, the police investigators, detectives, traffic department detectives, several witnesses, and both insurance companies, mine and the driver's, all unanimously came to the conclusion that the police officer was just off his block, crazy, wrong, not thinking straight in any way whatsoever. And it was decided that I was 100% not at fault, because it turns out that in the state of California, it is in fact illegal to run a stop sign when there's traffic coming that doesn't have any traffic controls to yield to. So anyway, that whole process that I just described took about 14 months. And about a month ago, I got a letter in the mail from my current motorcycle insurance company that told me that I had submitted my insurance application to them for this bike fraudulently because I had an accident on my record that showed me at fault with bodily injury. And this happened to be an accident that they were citing had happened in February 2011. So I looked up my driving record with the DMV, and of course the DMV showed that I had no accidents. And I called my insurance company, and they said, yes, we show that you have no accidents. You have the one accident, but it's not at fault. And the other guy's insurance company agreed, you have no accidents, not at fault. So I called my insurance broker, not to be confused with my insurance company. The actual broker, the guy who helps me get my best rates on insurance and all this stuff. Anyway, I asked him to help me, and he tipped me off to this thing. This is the real reason for this video. He tipped me off to this system that the insurance companies have. It's like a database of driving records that they have, that no one else has, that only they can look at. And for some reason in that database, the only records that were on file for me were the records that piece of trash police officer had filed, showing me to be at fault in the accident. So basically, my current insurance company used this system. Instead of actually going and finding my real driving record or consulting with insurance companies that were covering me and the other driver at the time of the collision. They went to this BS system full of false data and discovered that there was an accident on record that I was at fault at with bodily injury. So they sent me a notice that they were going to up my rates by a little over 20% because I had lied to them on my insurance application and I had been at fault in an accident. So I guess about another month or so passed, and finally it all got sorted out because my insurance broker went to bat for me and got in touch with all the insurance companies, had them correct all the errors in their stupid little black box system with driver's information. So anyways, the reason I'm going on this little whole tirade is to let you know to be vigilant when you get insurance quotes and when people are looking up information on you. Make sure that they're getting the correct information so that you don't have to go through this whole pain that I went through. Because, I mean, ultimately, my record was corrected, and I got my money back that they had charged me extra, but it's just a pain. It sucks, and it takes so long to get corrected, and it's a waste, and it's stupid. So, basically, the moral of the story is look out for yourself and pay attention to what's going on when you file all this kind of paperwork, and make sure that no one's taking you for a ride.